Hey everyone, this is Matthew Kent and welcome to my daily vlog. Now, if there's one thing that is the most important thing that I could just sort of on a psychoanalytical level tell you about yourself to help you understand who you are better. And you probably already know this, you hopefully already know this, but sometimes we don't really think about it too much. It's that you are a storyteller. You're a storyteller. Everyone you know is a storyteller. And here's the thing, as humans, we are incapable of having the mental capacity, the mental bandwidth to hold all of the truths around us in our head simultaneously. There's too much information out there. Even just here on this walk, there's too many visual stimuli. Whether I know it or not, I'm focusing on things to put my attention to. And at the end of the day, what happens is we create stories around the things that happen to us, around who we are, around what our life is going to be like in the future. And these sort of invisible scripts. We tell ourselves stories. We tell each other stories. You go out for, with your friends and hang out, and it was kind of cool. But then the next day, it was legendary when you're telling this story to people, because we're storytelling people. And so that's who you are. Now, to some extent, this is very good to know because it helps you see what has been holding you back. And I'll give you two common arenas that self-limiting beliefs hold people back in. And for alliterative purposes, they both start with S. So it's starting and selling. So if you want to start some venture, if you want to start a YouTube channel, if you want to start a business, if you want to start whatever it is, a diet, doesn't matter. If you want to start, you might run into some of these self-limiting beliefs. And so some of them might be, well, I'm not going to be able to follow through. And so I might as well just not start, because that's who I am. I don't finish things, and look at this thing in my life that I didn't finish, and look at this other thing that I didn't finish. And so with selling, and by the way, actually I ran into these beliefs myself. When I was starting, for instance, the YouTube channel, the daily vlog, and I've got a blog and different things that I do, I've run into all these sort of self-limiting beliefs. And then around selling, because eventually, especially if you start a business, you're going to need to sell. But, even like for me, I want to, make a living online. That's the goal that I'm working towards. That's my eventual dream. You're probably going to want to have something to sell, and you're probably going to want to sell something. Well, we all have these limiting beliefs about selling, and especially if you talk to your friends about, you're thinking of making something to sell, you'll probably hear a lot of their limiting beliefs, and they'll say things like, people don't buy things unless... Now, anytime that you hear the phrase, people don't buy things, you should immediately be skeptical, because people buy things all the time. I mean, have you ever seen how much stuff there is to buy? And have you ever seen how many weird things your friends have in their house? Like, I cannot believe they bought this. And your friends are normal people, I hope. There's abnormal people out there who buy crazy stuff. One of just the fundamental facts of the American economy that's made the whole thing work, and if you're not watching in America, it's probably true in your country too, is the fact that people buy stuff. People buy stuff all the time. People buy stuff that's put in front of them. Now, you should work to, having a product that's worth buying, and that's, I think, what everybody's getting at. But there are people that you can find that will buy your stuff just because it's there. Again, make it good, make it something worth, something remarkable, something that people want to buy, something that's useful to them, something that solves a problem for them. But, the self-limiting belief that you have nothing to offer, that you can't make something that's going to be worth buying for somebody, that you can't sell, that you can't, do a good job convincing somebody to buy it, is ludicrous on the face of it. I read yesterday, literally yesterday, I read a blog about a guy, and he's written several books. And on his last book, he spent $100,000, or maybe not his last one, but one of his books, he spent $100,000 buying gadgets to test out because he wanted to find a few of them to talk about. If you had put out a terrible gadget, he might not have talked about it, but he might have bought it. because people buy things, and you know, different people. You might be in a tough financial situation and you're very guarded, as you should be, with your spending. But there's people out there who aren't in that situation. And so, you know, a lot of times what will happen is you look at things through the lens of what's your situation, and like, well, I wouldn't buy that. Okay, well, good, because you're not your own customer, obviously. So these self-limiting beliefs hold us back. It's good to find them, to expose them, to call them out. But then I don't think that's enough. You've got to replace them with a better script. And so I think, you know, I've said that probably the best psychological hack on the market, and I truly believe this, is gratitude. And so in my bullet journal, I've got a gratitude log, and I think that is absolutely critical. I don't think this channel and this vlog, actually I'll make that stronger. I know that this channel and this vlog wouldn't exist if I hadn't made gratitude a practice in my life. I'm that confident. If I were to pick a second most important psychological hack on the market, it would be what I call daily affirmations. Daily affirmations. I do this now. So in my bullet journal, instead of a traditional daily log, I've transitioned, I think I did a video about this, to doing what's called the 5-minute journal. And so if you just Google 5-minute journal, you can probably find the different questions that are asked. But one of them is just that you have to put a daily affirmation. And so it just has to be in the format, I am, and then, you know, you fill in the blank. And it's got to be something positive. So I am a good conversationalist. I am good at whatever. I am likable. That could be it. I am going to achieve all my goals. Whatever it is, it's got to be something positive about yourself, with a view to replacing the negative invisible scripts in your head that are holding you back with a more positive, and I would argue more realistic outlook. Because again, you know, during this video we looked at some of these invisible scripts and they're all incredibly unrealistic. So those are my thoughts for you today. I really think this video is an important video. If you know somebody who you think needs to hear it, please share it with them. Because here's the thing, we're storytelling people, and unfortunately we're telling ourselves the wrong stories, the stories that are holding us back. And there's a lot of people who would benefit from the contribution that we would make if we weren't holding ourselves back. You have important work that you can do and that you should do, and that other people will greatly benefit from if you stop hiding, if you get over the invisible scripts that are holding you back, and if you develop a more positive mindset that's more in line with reality, the way it actually is. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked the video, and more importantly, I hope you do something with it.